Thank you very much, Blaney, and thanks everybody for coming along today, talking about Ioneer's Rhyolite Ridge project, lithium and boron deposit located in the state of Nevada in the United States, where we've been working for the last 8 years on the project, invested about $200 million to take it to where it is today. It's a very advanced project, construction ready, fully permitted, debt funding in place courtesy of the US government for $1 billion. And so it's on the cusp of a final investment decision. Please read the disclaimer before making any investment decisions. What I want to focus on in the 10 minutes we've got today is really to convince you just how different this is as a lithium deposit. There is not another one like this anywhere in the world. And we've got a team of people, mainly ex-Rio Tinto, people that have come out of the borates industry. Because actually what a lot of people don't realise is that this is actually a boron deposit with a lot of lithium. People think sedimentary lithium deposits in the United States equals clay. That's Rhyolite Ridge ore. Come and have a look at it at the booth. There's no clay in this rock. So completely the wrong idea and thinking if you think of this as a clay deposit. This rock has got, for every 1 unit of lithium, it's got about 10 units of boron in this particular piece of core. So this is our high-grade boron ore. Why am I sort of making a point of that is because not only does the boron contribute about 30% of the revenue, circa $100 to $200 million a year from the boron, it makes this the only heap leachable lithium deposit in the world that we know of. There is not another deposit like this anywhere on the planet that we know of today, and it's all because of boron. So please come and have a look at it. We've got our processing team led by Michael Osborne, who's with us here, visiting from Nevada. So, come and he'll run you through some of the facts and figures, but it's a truly amazing deposit now. So some key facts on boron. So I'm going to focus a little bit on boron, and then I'll come back and give you some update and stats around the project. So commercial viable quantities of boron are incredibly rare. There's only a few places in the world where they actually mine it at any kind of scale. Turkey and the southwest of the US are two of those places. And in fact, it's one of the rarest ores of any in the mining industry on the planet. So it is a very, very unusual commodity, which I think goes a long way to explaining why people largely don't understand and largely ignore the boron element of the Rhyolite Ridge project. But as you'll hear from me again and again, it really actually makes this project hum. So Turkey and the southwest of the United States, 80% of the global production. Who are the biggest consumers? China and America. 73% of the world's reserves are situated in Turkey. There's one mine in the United States. When that one mine shuts down, the world is reliant on Turkey for its boron. What does boron get used for? 300 different separate applications. And I'm going to run through a few of them, not all 300, but it's quite an amazing material when you go and look at all these different applications and how diverse those applications are. It doesn't matter whether one use gets replaced or not, some other use will take up that slack. So it's a tremendous commodity, particularly when you realise just how restricted supply is. It's a duopoly. It's Rio Tinto and the Turkish government. Importantly, it's essential for things like energy, defence and everyday life, fertilisers, aerospace industry, and I'm going to touch on some more of the other uses, but it really does have a very diverse use. Importantly, I mentioned defence because under the Defence Logistics Agency, the DLA, it's classified as a strategic material. You won't see it on any critical minerals lists because there are no deposits of boron around the world other than just a handful. So there's not much incentive for the government of the US or any other government for that matter to put it on a criticals list. But it is a strategic material. And if you look at what's important to the US government right now in terms of the long list of critical minerals, it's things that they need for magnets, semiconductors and batteries. Lithium and boron are used in all three of those. And there's not many commodities that you could say that about. So the US government care a lot about boron supply, global boron supply. I will show you some uses. Now, one of them up the top there, I can't sort of testify to this, but it does say it's a life extender. I'm not really too sure about that, but time will tell. Some of our team are taking daily doses to see if that works or not. But anyway, we'll get back to you on that. Okay, so from termites to tanks. Believe it or not, boron is used in timber, in housing and railway sleepers as an inhibitor of termite activity. Okay, it's also used as armour plating on tanks, helicopters and armoured personnel carriers. It's also used as Kevlar in body vests. So from termites all the way through to tanks, it's actually used as the ceramic tiles because it's so heat resistant and it doesn't shrink and expand as it heats and cools. It's used on tiles that go on the undersides of space rockets to prevent them burning up when they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. So again, think about that. Railway sleepers to space rockets. It's used in semiconductors. It's used, a big use is in the glass industry as a borosilicate glass, the glass on your phones, the glass on your tablets, the glass on your cooktop, the induction heat. The reason that glass does not crack is because of boron. So really, really amazing material. It's a micronutrient. It's used extensively in areas, particularly equatorial areas of the world, which of course is also where a lot of people live. And the reason for that is it's very soluble. So high rainfall areas equals boron depletion in the soils. So big populations, low boron depletion, a big market. Just some other stats around boron. 4 million tonne per annum global business across all borates. There's a heap of different borates. Boric acid is one of them, which is what we'll produce. But basically, if you look at the whole industry, it's about 4 million tonnes. California, that one mine, which is over 100 years old, owned by Rio Tinto, which they're in the process of a strategic review on, produces about 30% of the world's supply. The Department of Defence alone used 35,000 tonnes of boron carbide in 2023, and that's growing rapidly as we have increased military activities. 73% of the world's reserves are in Turkey. Rhyolite Ridge is the only construction-ready, DFS complete, fully permitted boron deposit in the United States, and I would guess it's probably, you could say the same thing about the entire world. So these are incredibly rare, and we've got an incredibly rare deposit sitting there fully permitted in America with all the engineering done. 25% of the revenue from Rhyolite Ridge comes from boron. So it's not just about the uses of boron, it's actually a significant contributor. In fact, it pays about 70% of our costs to mine the lithium in this project. So in the last 2 minutes, I'm going to just quickly focus on giving you a quick summary of where we're at with Rhyolite Ridge. We recently updated our economics with a new resource and reserve. You can see the numbers there, but the NPV, these are levered numbers, it's around about $2 billion NPV and around 21% IRR, levered. We also updated our reserves recently, 260 million tonnes in reserves. Our phase 1 project will mine about 3 million tonnes a year, so that's about over 80 years of reserve. And the resource, which includes the reserve, is around 540 million tonnes. So this is a project that could double, triple, quadruple, and it could still be mining for many, many decades. And we've actually only drilled less than half of the total deposit. So it's very, very large, very long life, and very expandable. All-in sustaining costs are very, very low, in the order of $5,000 a tonne, okay? How do we get to a $5,000 per tonne lithium carbonate? It's because of all that boric acid, and the piece of core I said is about 10 times, but the average is around 7. So 1 unit of lithium, 7 units of boric acid, that gives you an all-in cost after the boric acid credit of circa $5,000 a tonne. That's in the bottom quartile of the cost curve, and it's very much tied to that lithium, the boron credit rather. Okay, so, sorry. I'm not going to go through the processing plant. This is something to come and talk to about Michael at the booth, but please do so. It's a fascinating mineral deposit, and Michael will be happy to talk about it. Importantly, unlike Western Australia where we make mineral concentrates and we send them overseas, the fact that this is acid leachable means that you can produce these end products, high purity chemicals, at the mine site. So we will make lithium carbonate, lithium hydroxide and boric acid at the mine site. So key takeaways, unique deposit, dual revenue, very important for this project. It's shovel ready, all the engineering's been done, $200 million invested to date, very robust economics, it's very expandable, and it's also very important for the United States, the people of Nevada and the government of the United States. It's necessary for batteries, magnets and semiconductors and other military applications, and that's why this project has the backing of the US government to the tune of $1 billion of debt for 20 years at US 10-year Treasury rates. Thank you very much.